father of the bride's speech, I thank when Jesse married his partner, Matt, I'm not sure whether I was the father of the bride or the father of the groom. Buonasera, e benvenuto in questa bella notte. Yes, we are in Italy, not Traverse City, Michigan, not World Showcase in Epcot, but in Italy, and lucky us, and welcome. I, as father of the bride, get to make a speech and pretty much get to say whatever I want. And since I've done this 2 times before, I found out it's one of the few times that your kids actually listen to you because you're talking about them. In preparation of this, I'm going to lean against this because it's going to take a while. I watched many Father of the Bride speeches on YouTube and found them very inspirational. Mary did not. She repeatedly warned that I better not do this or that, and that it would be best to keep it short and sweet. Alex, as you'll learn after a few or many years of marriage, you don't always necessarily have to do everything your wife suggests. Just always prepare for the consequences. I'm going to start with an overview of Dale, at least what I know of her, and these are all true stories. Her birth. Okay. You might want to throw more wine in. I was on my way to a very important management meeting or event at Disney when I was beeped by Mary, when you had beepers, meaning that it was time. I immediately rushed home after about a half hour at the event. Bags were packed, the boys were at the neighbors, and all was ready. We rushed to the hospital, which luckily was very close. We checked in and missed some minor cursings of the nurses by Mary because there wasn't time for anesthesia. Our beautiful little baby girl was born 10 minutes after we arrived. An attribute she lives by to this day: get out of the way, I'm coming through. Her name, I wouldn't name my sons Dale because of the bad experiences I had as a kid when the only Dale my peers knew was Dale Evans, Queen of the West. But for a girl it was fine, but it did need to be a little different. It was on the way home from work one day when I spotted a billboard saying, "Vote for Dennis Dale," spelled D-A-Y-L-E, for Orange County Sheriff. We lost, but we got the name. I think that's pretty much all she got from me is the name. The rest she got from her mother. Definitely her beauty, her passionate soul, her intensity, her domineeringness, her persistenceness, and her passion, devotion, and mild-manneredness, and most important, her loving and warm camaraderie. From her mom, but her blue eyes came from me. You can't hold a girl down, just ask her older brother Jesse, who would constantly have to fight to keep her in her car seat when she was little. We didn't have duct tape.
Or childlike doors.
Her early vocabulary was typical for a little kid with no and mine, but she got more attention and response from her brothers with a lingering octave-changing wail, right? Accompanied by a jab and shove or just a threatening stare. She did grow out of these tantrums because she soon found out she could better control her siblings by using brain power. It's not that she was any smarter than they were, it's just that she made them believe she was. To this day. I mentioned her devotion before. This is strong with Dale. It's evident when you look around and see some of her lifelong relationships that began in her early school days. And I know of absolutely no one that is more dedicated to any pet she has ever had, including the current 4 cats. Which brings us to Alex. We heard about this guy in the brief and infrequent chats we had with Dale when she was in China. The big test was when Alex got to meet the family at the Fair Family Reunion in Colorado. It was fun to see this guy from Detroit doing his cowboy thing. But most of all, it was quite obvious that there was indeed something good between these two. I could see that it was going to work out pretty good because all of Dale's persuasive suggestions were readily and happily met with a not a problem response from Alex, while at the same time he showed an admirable aptitude for exhibiting romance. Also about Alex, excuse me, talk among yourselves. We all know that he has a passion for reading, memorizing, and quoting quotes. Right? Okay. Over and over and over. Some are really good and pertinent, and some maybe a little obscure. So because of this quote fetish, I'm going to read a bunch of quotes that relate to their 10 years together. These are 10 events in the already long relationship of Dale and Alex. In quotes, right? I doubt that Alex will know who sent these quotes, but if any of you do, please yell them out. Okay, number 1, Rollins, which was the same school, but before the encounter. I can see there's so much to learn, it's all so close and yet so far.
Mr. Rogers.
Tarzan.
Tarzan.
That was great.
Okay. He. How about a girl who's got a brain who always speaks her mind?
Mulan.
Got it? Okay, number 2, China, discovering a foreign language. He. I know not who you are or how I came to find you, but may I just say, hi, how you doing?
Tangled.
Yeah.
Twin Rider.
Tangled, right, okay. She. True that that he's no Prince Charming, but there's something in him I simply didn't see. Good. Whoa. He. All right, Blondie. She. Rapunzel. He. Gesundheit.
Tangled Rapunzel.
Tangled again. So this is love. So this is what makes life divine. No? Okay.
Cinderella.
Cinderella. All right, this one I think you've got from the discussion earlier. Can you feel the love tonight? Okay, number 3, back home in Orlando, in love. This is after China. All at once, everything is different now that I see you. Say it. Tangled. Okay, this is easy. A whole new world, 100,000 things to see, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you. Any day spent with you is my favorite day, so today is my new favorite day. Winnie the Pooh. Whoa!
Nice.
Okay. Still no less. He. Honey, where's my super suit?
Incredibles.
Whoa. Okay, this one you won't know. Are we gonna do this all night? My parts are killing me.
Toy Story. No.
Okay, number 4, meeting the family for the first time out west. He. Oh, bother.
That's Winnie the Pooh.
She. Please don't freak out. Tangled. He. I'm not worthless, and I don't have fleas.
Aladdin.
Who said that? Okay, graduation times 2. Trials and tribulations, I've had my share. There ain't nothing gonna stop me now because I'm almost there.
Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You're killing it.
Okay, number 6, the big separation across country. Oregon. Okay. Remember me though I have to travel far. Remember me each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be. Until you're in my arms again. What did you say? That's it. You don't lose hope, love. If you do, use everything. That's a tough one.
Meet the Fockers. No? Okay.
She's dying to say that. She's out here.
Beauty piece. The most important thing is, even when we're apart, I'll always be with you.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. Okay, number 7, travelers here and all over the world travelers. Okay. I want adventure in the great white somewhere. I want it more than I can tell.
Pocahontas,
No.
right?
You gotta be Moana.
Beauty and the Beast. Okay, this is really this side of the table. When there's a smile in your heart, there's no better time to start. Think of all the joy you'll find when you leave the world behind and bid your cares goodbye.
Peter Pan.
You can fly, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, number 8, settling down, settling in. Is this a dream? No, I thought not. If it were, there'd be wrong.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Side by side with your loved one, you'll find enchantment there. Someone said this before. Lady in the Tramp. That's a tough one. This one. For it is plain as anyone can see, we're simply meant to be. Nightmare Before Christmas. Number 9, New Adventures Way Out West. There must be more than this provincial life. Adventure is out there.
Adventures out there. Moana.
Wow.
Okay.
Look at these notes.
Our faith lives within us. You only have to be brave enough to see it.
Great.
To face this one you won't get. To face the future with another who means more than any other is to be loved.
The Rescuers.
The Rescuer. Okay, go. Live your dreams.
Start heating up over here.
Okay, here's the next one. Go. Live your dream. Oh, come on. That was an easy one. Go. Live your dream. Beauty and the Beast. Tangled. Get it mixed up. Okay. And finally, taking the big plunge. Oh, it's a beautiful dress. Did you ever see such a beautiful dress? And look, glass slippers. Why, it's like a dream, a wonderful dream come true. I promise, and when I promise something, I never, ever break that promise.
Tangled.
I am your wife. I am the greatest good you're ever gonna have.
Incredibles.
Yep. To infinity and beyond. If you live to be 100, I hope I live to be 100 minus one day, so that I never have to live a day without you.
Winnie the Pooh.
Love is a song that never ends. Love is a song that never ends. We're here to celebrate 2 milestones. Not that script. We're here to celebrate 2 milestones. Dale and Alex's exchange of vows, of course, but at the same time, their 10th anniversary. It's okay that it's right in the middle of our Italian vacation. our own Mark Twain once said, the Creator made Italy from designs by Michelangelo. But it was Michelangelo that said, your gifts lie in the place where your values, passions, and strengths meet. Discovering that place is the first step towards sculpting your masterpiece, your life. He also said, to know each other is the best way to understand each other. To understand each other is the only way to love each other. And I said, love is forever giving and forgiving. You learn a lot as a parent of different kinds of love between two people. From two vegetarian tree huggers who were next door to neighbors, to two guys meeting that were playing games on the internet, to a guy who presents us with a pretty awesome granddaughter. And it's that time that you stop guiding them because they have someone else taking your place. It is when your little girl finally finds the guy and makes the decision to reroute her life out of one path and into another. The realization of today's events until now wasn't very strong because Dale and Alex had been together so long and because it was happening in Italy. But then there was last night with Alex's aunt talking of true love and Alex's comments on love of family and friends. And sitting there, I looked over at my little girl in her long blue dress and long blonde hair with a twist at the end.